Good Shabbos, everyone. We begin on page 128, How Good It Is to Be Together, Hinei Ma Tov. Hinei Ma Tov, Umanayim Shevetachim Gam Yachad. 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 How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei Ma Tov, Umanayim Shevetachim Gam Yachad. Hinei Ma Tov, Umanayim Shevetachim Gam Yachad. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei Ma Tov, Umanayim Shevetachim Gam Yachad. Hinei Ma Tov, Umanayim Shevetachim Gam Yachad.
We welcome Nancy Hammer to the Bima as she lights her Shabbat candles on page 120. Newest board member. It's July.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav metzivanu lehatlik ner Shel Shabbat.
For those who are able, we rise together for our Kiddush 123.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'asei v'reishit Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zeichel yitziat Mitzrayim Kivanu bacharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim B'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'b'ra נחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
Please be seated. We read together at the top of page 127. There are days we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand and wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act and care nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty, a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We continue with Lechado D 138.
Lechando di likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lechando di likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor וזכור בדיבורך תשמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לחנדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. לחנדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשם בתחילה. לחנדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. לחנדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לחנדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. לחנדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה.
We rise together to greet Shabbat HaMelkah. בואי ושלום עטרת מעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לחנדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. לחנדוני לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. The bottom of page 145. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. We stay right here, our Chetzi Kaddish 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה. בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל. בגן Ma'ariv Ve'imeru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'alam u'lalmei almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudusha Brichu le'ela min kol mechata v'shirata Tush bechata v'nechemata tamiran be'alma ve'imeru Amen.
And we rise together, 146.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada-da-da-da, 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 yada-da-da-da. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Ba'ed Le'olam Ba'ed Yada-da-da-da, 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 yada-da-da-da.
We read together at the top of page 149. Praise you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets a way in which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
Amen.
On the next page.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shochveinu ufkumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'b'mitzvotecha Le'olam ba'ed Ki heim chayeinu Be'orech yameinu Ubahem nehgeh Yomam v'layla Ve'ahavatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Leolam, Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shochmecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letot avot beineinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
The top of page 157 as we continue together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Our song of Herut, our song of freedom, our Michamocha, on the next page.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני מלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך מוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני מלוך לעולם ועד. יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די.
161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Our Hashki Venu 160.
השכיבנו אדוני Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim.
163. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Vishamru 162.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et Hashambat, lasot et Hashambat lidorotam berit olam. Beini ubein bnei Yisrael, oti leolam. Beini ubein bnei Yisrael, oti leolam. Ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashmi Shabbat vayinafash.
For those who are able, we rise together for our tefillah 166.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We read together at the top of page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. Make a temperate reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Betov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. We take a few moments for private prayer. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Me'imru, me'imru, Amen.
At this moment in our service, we think of those in our community, those especially who are in need of healing of body or spirit. Sophia Berry, Mary Lynn Bates, Margaret Bell, Orit Cohen, Lydia Cutler, Richard Epstein, David Hamrick, Lauren Howard, Cindy Land, Robin Lazarus, Marilyn Leeds, Rush Lishkoff, Stephen Magnati, Richard Magnati, Stephen Muss, Ron Ostreicher, Chad Petrowski, Malka Bat Rachel, Stanley Rubenstein, Arnold Shyland, Jerry Sklar, Georgia Solomon, and Alan Unger. For those who are with us tonight, if you're thinking of a loved one, a friend, someone who means so special to you and you wish to share their name out loud, we invite you either by rising or as my eyes meet yours by saying that name out loud. For those names mentioned out loud and for those names that are still in our hearts, our Misha Berach can be found 371.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Ve'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's a great pleasure, especially for me, as we get to name Sydney Alice Dresden as she becomes a daughter of Israel, Batei Tzion. But the Dresden family is incredibly important. I want it to me. When we came here to interview back in October of 2018, it was Daniel who took the time to show my wife Rachel all the best that Birmingham has to offer, to show how wonderful this community is. And I learned about his incredible advocacy work, working for AIPAC as a lawyer, and now the hardest job of all, I'm going to say being a father, but it's being on the Mountain Brook School Board. But he found our home, and he welcomed me and him and his wife Meredith into this incredible Jewish community. And it's a great pleasure to welcome them as they come to the Bima to officially name their daughter of Israel, Sydney. Come on up, guys. And invite you to take out your baby naming ceremony.
Teddy and Macy's dad.
I think you have a birthday party Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Praise you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has made us holy through mitzvot and ordained that we bring our children into the covenant of Abraham and Sarah. Together, the rabbis of old teach us that when the Israelites stood to receive the Torah at Mount Sinai, God said to them, I am giving you my Torah. Present to me good guarantors that you will guard it, and then I shall give it to you. And the Israelites said, our ancestors are not our guarantors. God says, your ancestors are not sufficient guarantors, yet bring me good ones, and I shall give you the Torah. And they responded, sovereign of the universe, our prophets will be our guarantors. God said to them, the prophets are not sufficient guarantors, yet bring me good ones, and I shall give you the Torah. And they said, here are the children. God then replied, for your children's sake, I give the Torah to you. Rabbi Judolo said, in some special way, every child completes the universe. Every child brings his or her own blessings into the world. Individuality, uniqueness is symbolized through the act of naming, as the Torah says. And out of the ground the eternal God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam, the first man, to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. The Dor Vador, from generation to generation. On this day we give your child the Hebrew name,
Shana Aliza. May our daughter be blessed as our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah were blessed. And as she be brought into the covenant of our people, so may she grow into a life of Torah, service, and good deeds. Bless our child and grant her a life of health and strength, happiness and length of days. May she grow at a peace with herself, at peace with the world. May she be bound in love and knowledge of the Torah, and may we lead her on the paths of righteousness, truth, humility, and understanding. Star of the show. So we chose her English name, Sydney Alice, in memory of three special people in our lives. Meredith's great-grandfather, Sidney Averbush, Meredith's grandmother, Bela Alice Berman Block, and my grandmother, Alice Brooks. Sidney Averbush passed away when Meredith was younger, so I sadly never got to know him. However, I know he loved to have fun, to eat, and to live a stress-free life, but most of all, he loved his family. We were both fortunate to meet and spend time with each other's grandmothers, Meredith's Mimi and my grandma. I don't believe that there are words to describe how much these special women impacted both of our lives in immeasurable ways, but they had at least one thing in common. They both loved all of their grandchildren more than anything in the world, and we know they are smiling down on their great-granddaughter tonight, and as Mimi would say, busting their buttons. Sydney's Hebrew name, Shana Aliza, means beautiful joy, and it fits our precious girl perfectly. She's certainly beautiful inside and out, despite her striking resemblance to her father. And as we were talking the other night, Meredith pointed out that one advantage of a delayed baby naming is that we've had some time to get to know Sydney. She is curious, determined, brave, energetic, and above all else, she is joyful. She's rarely not smiling, and like her older brother, whose Hebrew name Gilly also means joy, her joy is contagious, and she's spreading it into a world that certainly needs some more of it. After saying the Shema each night, we thank God for the privilege and blessing to be parents to these two amazing children. And we are so thankful to be able to, with the love and support of Bubby, Zadie, Honey, Pops, Uncle Owen, Aunt Allison, and Aunt Ra, as well as this congregation, to welcome Shana Aliza into our Jewish faith and tradition tonight.
We rise together as we say Kiddush. You're going to hold it. He'll do it for you. You're going to take that, the pinky.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen. Chaim.
Is it good? We're going to remain standing as we open the ark, but we're going to do something special. We're going to surprise Sydney and the parents. This man knows this Mima very well, and I'm glad he's back. Dr. Odrezin, as he will sing a lullaby. Come on up. Yeah, you guys, in front of the ark. Here? Yeah. You want that chocolate? Come on.
He wanted the wine.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. May God bless you and keep you. May God watch over you. May God always be inside of your heart. May peace be always with you. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. May God always be inside of your heart. May peace be always with you.
Mazel tov. After service, you get your chocolate, I promise. Beautiful. Please be seated. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
A few weeks ago, I saw my dear friends I haven't seen since 2019 in the fall. We met up in the Cape. On the way back on Sunday, I was on the 95 heading south to New York. I was flying directly out of LaGuardia to Birmingham when we got the notification that my flight was canceled for that evening and I was rebooked for Monday morning. Normally when you get a flight cancellation, it's pretty upsetting, but I told my dear friend Michael that as much as I would love to stay with him and his family in New Jersey, I'm going to spend the night in the city. And hopefully my wife is not going to look at the hotel bill. But I have strong affection for New York, especially as a Jew. I remember early in my life when my mom watched the great movie Crossing Delancey Street with Amy Irvine. Irvin, sorry, the pickle salesman, okay? The Lower East Side, Hester Street, but New York became the embodiment of how Jews were able to engage the American Jewish experience. New York today is home to over 1 million Jews. And moreover, when you look at New York and when you fly into the city, everyone wants that window view. It's a concrete jungle beyond imagination, and I'm talking about New York as our cantor is from Washington Heights. And to me, New York, it celebrates diversity. It celebrates the American spirit of what we can do, all the different cultures. It is the quintessential city that says, we are a modern world and we celebrate Western values and ideals. It's New York. And for the past couple of years, I've stayed in the Upper East Side. I went to the city a couple times as part of Tablet magazine. They have these incredible dinners where we get around like a think tank and talk about Jewish ideas. And it's become familiar. And every time I'd go to New York, I'd go on these long walks. I got to the city around 3 o'clock. I checked in, and I decided I was all by myself, no wife, no kids. I'm going to have a little fun and go back to my old areas which I enjoyed walking. But immediately as I walked out of the hotel, I started to see the bring them home signs destroyed. And what I thought was going to be a great trip to New York just for one night, something changed within me. I decided to cross over to the Upper West Side. I wanted to see Columbia University for myself, ground zero of the most grotesque form of Jew hatred that we have seen since 1933. I wanted to see it firsthand. But every time I'd walk, block after block, every light post, nearly every mailbox that I came across, from garbage cans, I started noticing the amount of destroyed posters of the Bring Them Home movement. It was one of the most grotesque things that I've ever seen. I remember especially the pictures of Kafir Bibas. He's the youngest person held in captivity. He's about 17 months now. And a couple times it looked like claws going through his face. What kind of individual or individuals would do something so grotesque? I've always believed that since October 7th, and the aftermath that followed, every single Jew in the world, we are obligated to be a living witness to what we are seeing. We have to document it in some capacity to remember, because never again is now, and we have an obligation to teach it to the next generation, and the next generation. We are obligated to. So as I crossed over at 110th, I decided to take as many pictures as humanly possible of all the destroyed signs. And you can see that in our pulpit handout. And Hannah, please put it on the screen for those watching at home. You can see it in the back. From light post to garbage can to mailbox, endless pictures that I took to remember what I was experiencing as an American and as a Jew. And something unimaginable. I walked by the other Temple Emanu-El on the Upper East Side in New York, the Temple Emanu-El. And in a horrible paradox, There were destroyed, bring them home hostages signs right next to this historic multi-generational synagogue where our cantor was ordained. I've been to concentration camps before. I remember in Germany, I went to Sachsenhausen. Most of it was destroyed. We were trying to think what it was like to be Jewish in these concentration camps, but decades have passed. Even when we go to a Holocaust museum, or even when I was in Sachsenhausen, we try to force ourselves to think what it was like for those who were sent to the gas chambers. But for the first time in my life, when I saw these images destroyed, I could feel the tangibility of the pain that so many of us are experiencing. Because I know October 7th and the aftermath that followed, it is so much on your minds till today. It brings out the fear and the worst feeling that we experience in the human condition. And I've said this before, and that is uncertainty. The uncertainty of not knowing the fate of the hostages, the uncertainty of not knowing for those brave IDF soldiers who are defending our people, the uncertainty of when this war will finally come to an end and when we will have shalom, when we'll have peace. It's the uncertainty that we are constantly living with. And on top of that, it's the uncertainty that we're all experiencing regarding our own personal lives. And here we are at Parshat Hukat, the embodiment of the Torah portion that speaks to the fear, it speaks to the uncertainty. In the opening verse in chapter 21, we learn that Miriam died there. And the people were so upset that they quarreled with Moses, saying, "If only we had perished before. And why have you brought this assembly, this congregation of God, to this wilderness to die, we and our animals? Why did you take us out of Egypt and bring us to this evil place? Not a place of seed, fig, or grape, or pomegranate, and there's no water to drink." And Rashi teaches us that when Miriam died, this was the death of a righteous individual. And the fact that there was no water after she died, we see that it was in her merit of the miraculous well followed the people throughout the wandering, provided a plentiful supply of fresh water. As soon as this righteous woman died, the water stopped, and the disastrous consequences found later in the chapter happened. Moses was so upset that the Israelites were in pain that he got so frustrated by kicking the rock at Meribah and failed to give credit to God. And what was his punishment? He was prohibited, he was denied from entering into the land of Israel. But all of us can empathize with the Israelites. We are living in our own wilderness. We remain uncertain. The fear permeates everywhere we go, it seems. The social media feeds. All we want is to return to what normalcy looked like, and for us to go on our lives being happy as Jews, not being fearful. I always believe that fear begets more fear. The constant worrying that we face continues to lead to more constant worrying. If I had the magic, I wish we could take this pain away from all of us. So my take home for us, as much as these destroyed posters rip my soul and all of our souls, a symbolic nature of the most grotesque hate we have ever seen, I just read a study that 98% of French Jews have experienced anti-Semitism this past year alone. 98%. With all my sight and with all my might, as we did after 1945, as we did after 1948, I am not going to allow them to defeat us. I don't know the difference between the Dutch masters or the French painters, but I decided to do something that I want my children and their children and for this congregation and the Jewish world to see. I asked my dear friend Mark Robinson, director of our communications and marketing, I said, I want to do something with these photos. So I sent him nearly 100 photos, and he put them together. And then he found the font of Bring Them Home Now. And he put the real faces of the hostages that remain intact, that are sacred. Because as much as they can destroy our soul and spirit, they will not win this war. And I want to remind this congregation, and for those who are watching in the Jewish world, that we will get through this. I want us to document our own experiences. I want us to remember what it feels like to be a Jew at this time. But I also want you to have hope. And I have one more wish moving forward. The problem with wandering in the wilderness is that the Israelites did not know how to become unified. We saw this in the previous parashah with the failed rebellion with Korach, and now the anger and frustration with the lack of sustenance that's in the wilderness. Unity, unity, and unity for the Jewish world. I don't care if one is a Republican, if one is a Democrat. I don't care if one roots for Alabama or Auburn. This is our moment to embody the Joshua and the Calebs that knew that we can defeat this fear. We put aside that we're a Reformed Jew. We put aside that we are a conservative Jew. We put aside that we're an Orthodox Jew. We put aside that we go to shul on Overton Road or down the street. We have got to put that aside and realize that all of us were standing at that Sinai moment. Because if we're going to get through this, we don't have a Moses anymore. We don't have a Begin anymore. We don't have one voice. We're Jews. Unity, unity, unity. And I know that's going to be hard, especially in an election year. But at the end of the day, remember two things. Every human being is 99.9% the same, our physiology, what we make up. And we're Jews. We've been in this hole, and we know the way out. But we do that by being together. Shabbat Shalom. For those who are able, we rise together. Aleinu 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. מה אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
On this Shabbat, we recall the yortzites of Jean M. Abrams, Faye Lewis Berman, Maud Schuster Block, Clara Grace Blutman, Morris L. Blutman, Regina Capilouto, Rebecca Turner, Ellen Siegel Dorsky, Rose Shapiro Eisenberg, Gladys Hanover Feldman, Herman Friedman, Norris Friedman, Ray Friedman, Lena Kaufman Goldberg, Sam Goldwasser, Harvey Gottlieb, Sheldon Gross, Emma Wellman Hart, Julius Hurst, Esther K. Cardis, Louis Katz, Ronald M. Leaf, William Lefkowitz, Nina R. Levitt, Harold Philip Lishkoff, Clara Loveman, John Ashton Majot, Yankee Sokol Marcus, Herbert Warwitz, Marilyn Lichtenstein Nelson, Harold Nelson, Isidore Newmark, Steve Orwell, Lenora Pate, Eva B. Perlman, Leonard Lambert Rivkin, Evelina Onis Roseman, Max Ruman, Samuel Rudachevsky, Mildred Saxon, Hortense Shapiro, Ruth R. Silverfield, Dave Sokol, David Spivak, Chrissy St. Charles, Dorothy Steiner, Emmanuel Steiner, Shira Chernitsky, Hyman Erndong, Elaine Weiner, and Sarah Zeldin, and our heartfelt condolences to those who passed away in the Shloshim, Susan Medelson Corin. May all the memories forever be a blessing. If it is your custom to rise for the Mortar's Kaddish, we invite you to do so. 598. Yikadal Bikadash Shemei Rabbah, Bielma Divrach Reotei Vamlich Machutei, Bechayachon of Yomachon, Uvchaye de Kol Beit Yisrael, Bagala Uizman Kariv Yomru.
Amen.
Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Alamei Amaya, Yiparach V'hishtabach V'ipa'ar Hitromam Hitnaseh, V'itadar V'italev V'itallel Shemei Dekusha,
Brichu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushvechata v'nechamata, damin ram yalma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'el kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Osei shalom b'imromav, huya say shalom, aleinu v'el kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen. Ose shalom b'imromav, uyase shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen.
Our closing song, Singing for Hope, Hatikva 678.
Kol balev afenima, nefesh Yehudi homia, ulfatei mizrach kadima, Ein Lezion Sophia, Od lo avda tikvateinu, Atikva machnot alpaim, Liotam chofshim be'artzeinu, Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim. Liotam chofshim be'artzeinu, Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim.
Good Shabbos, and please join us downstairs for our
Shabbos.
Oneg.